I'm back in Songkhla today, yet again. This year I've been to Songkhla quite a number of times, and the plan is to watch another football game this evening. And we've got here quite early. This is just after 1 o'clock. On one of my previous videos, when I was talking about pizza restaurants, someone recommended a pizza restaurant in Songkhla Old Town. So our plan is to go there a bit later, and I think before that we're just going to have a little stroll around the Old Town. Hat Yai and Songkhla are very closely associated, but they are very different in character. Hat Yai is all about commerce and business. A lot of the old buildings have gone. It's not a very attractive place, but it's very convenient for a lot of things. Having a family, it's good for healthcare, schooling, shopping. It's just much more convenient than Songkhla. This part of Songkhla we're in now, the Old Town, is really driven by tourism. There are a lot of old buildings, many of which have been renovated, turned into little restaurants and cafes, and it's a really attractive place. It's a lovely place to visit actually, but because of that, there are a lot of people come to visit, especially at the weekends, like we're doing today. And driving here, and especially parking, is a bit of a nightmare. Tiny little streets, it's difficult getting cars through. We've come in my wife's car today, which is small, much better for Songkhla than my car. And just finding a parking space can take a very long time. We went to Hoi An in Vietnam in 2017. And Songkhla is kind of similar, but on a smaller scale. Lots of old buildings that have been renovated. And Hoi An is a UNESCO heritage site. And for a long time now, Songkhla has been trying to get approved as a UNESCO heritage site. But if that happens, the already busy tourism is going to get even worse. That's one of the downsides. The Old Town sits on the edge of Songkhla Lake, which I think is the largest inland body of water in Thailand. And we're at the southern part of Songkhla Lake, which is like salt water, sea water. As you go further north into Patalong, where there's a lot of runoff from the mountains, it becomes less salty. It's almost fresh. A couple of guys fishing here, and some boats, some fishermen's boats as well. It's understandable why so many people come here. It's a really pleasant place just to walk around. But if you do want to come, I would advise trying to come midweek, not Saturday and Sunday, because it's just so busy. Majak Nai Krab? Narati Wat. So this little crowd here is from Narati Wat. And I just asked another two girls up there, and they said Patani. So Narati Wat, Yala, and Patani are known as the three provinces, Sam Chang Wat, and unfortunately there's still a lot of insurgency down in that region. So a lot of the people come up to Songkhla for some peace and quiet. As I mentioned earlier, we've been to Songkhla several times this year, and on 3 or 4 occasions we've eaten at this place called Smoked Craft, and it's really good. I think the food here is fantastic, but we've never seen another customer inside. We just had the whole restaurant to ourselves. And I asked a friend who lives just near here in the Old Town, and she thinks the reason is because it's too expensive for most people. It's a bit of a shame. It's a really nice place, and the food is great. There's just nowhere like this in Hat Yai where you can walk around an attractive area. In Hat Yai, probably the most attractive part is the municipal park, which they've done quite a good job on. But outside of that, most of it is pretty ugly, really. And it's a shame that more places in Southeast Asia haven't looked after their old buildings. When Lee Kuan Yew started to develop Singapore into a first world nation, they just started pulling down all of the old buildings, and they suddenly realised that if they pulled all of them down, they would lose a lot of the character and the heritage of the place. So they started to preserve them, and I think a lot of the old buildings in Singapore now is just like an old facade, and they've built new buildings behind the facades. In Hat Yai, a lot of the old buildings have gone. One really good place for old buildings is Penang in Malaysia. I've been down there quite a few times, and there are still a lot of the old classic shop houses with the 5-foot ways. Also in Songkhla, you'll find quite a lot of murals on the old buildings, such as this one here, and they look really good too. The kids have just told us that they want to eat ice cream before lunch, which is a bit strange. And there's an ice cream shop just down here that we go to, I think, every time we come to Songkhla Old Town. I'll just leave the camera on so you can get a feel for what Songkhla Old Town looks like. So lots of the old buildings are being renovated, turned into cafes and restaurants, and have done a really good job. Some engไหมครับ
ทำเองค่ะ มี
ขนม
หลายตัวเลยค่ะ
ครับ
น้องเอกสำคัญมี
A lot of homemade produce as well. That shop there, she just made all of her own desserts and candies. Lovely old style restaurant here. Oh, my favourite fruit, I don't think.
เดี๋ยวพาเด็กๆมานอนเล่น
Kanom Jin. These are the white noodles made from rice. Very popular in this part of Thailand. So they give you the noodles and they'll just make curries in the morning and they just leave them in pots. And you can just take what you want and put it on top of the noodles. No, not much there. I'm not sure what type of curries these are. Hats and souvenirs. It is touristy, I must admit, but occasionally this sort of thing is quite nice. I'm not sure I'd want it on my doorstep all the time, but this is a sort of Sunday trip out for the family, and coming here is a nice break from Hat Yai. Itim. So this place sells the traditional Thai ice cream. And the little shop we're going to has a yogurt style ice cream. I meant to say the original settlers in this area, mostly Chinese, and quite a few Chinese temples. Here's one of them. Well, here's the ice cream shop. Soft house. I think the kids and wife are already in there. So let them have their ice creams, then we'll make our way to the pizza restaurant. Personally, I don't really like the yogurt style ice cream here. But they do a peach tea, which is super nice and really refreshing. It's only 45 baht. Huh? Chinese guy just shouted something at me. I thought he was talking to me, but he wasn't. And what I've noticed in Southeast Asia with the Chinese, there's a lot of Chinese in this part of the world, is that they still separate themselves into dialect groups. So what we've got here is Samakom, which is Association Hokkien Songkhla. So this place here is for Hokkien dialect Chinese. I just spotted a Farangai with 2 film cameras hung around his neck. And if you enjoy photography, as I do, this is a great place for photography. You'll get some really nice shots. In Hat Yai, you can walk around all day around the downtown area and not really find anything worth photographing. What I've been wanting to do for a long time, but there hasn't been an opportunity, is to spend the night in Songkhla by myself, purely to take shots at night. Everything is lit up at night, and I think it would be a great place for night photography as well. So hopefully that will happen before the end of the year. The ice cream shop has got a really pleasant little garden as well, where you can sit outside and drink your drink or eat your ice cream. The problem is, in Songkhla, for most of the year, it's just too hot to sit outside. It's a lot more comfortable being inside in the air conditioning. Because our son's diabetic, we have to keep a constant watch on his blood sugar level. If his blood sugar drops too low, that can be quite dangerous. That can actually cause him to faint. So my wife's just buying some homemade snacks from this shop here to give him later if he starts feeling a little bit dizzy or lightheaded. Walking around Songkhla Old Town, you'll see these murals everywhere. We're just going down another very attractive little alleyway. Not big enough for cars, fortunately. And the restaurant should be on this next road. The restaurant in question, I've never actually eaten there before, but I've been past many times. As I say, when I was talking about pizza in Hat Yai on a previous video, someone in the comments recommended this place in Songkhla. So I thought when I have an opportunity, I'll go and see what it's like. Another little restaurant here. Looks really nice. I love places like this. So much character. And another mural on the wall just next to the restaurant. And our restaurant, I think, is just up here on the corner. We know there's always a lot of people in Songkhla at the weekend, so my wife called ahead to book a table. I'm not sure if that's necessary or not. They took the booking, but they didn't ask for a name, so it could have been anyone. Anyway, here's the place. It's called the Secret Garden. And there's some tables outside. As I mentioned in the ice cream shop, it's quite hot if you sit outside. I think we're going to go inside. There's the inside. Take a look at the menu and order some food. Oh, it's also a bakery, so they've got cakes and things as well for sale. Good. Tam tini, my crap. Tam tini. Yeah, make all the cakes themselves. Here's the menu. It's quite big, so I just have to scan through. And most of it is in English and Thai. Some parts are just Thai. Like here, menu piset, special menu, chapot de ni, just for this month. So obviously they must have a special menu for each month. Grilled prawns, caprese with homemade mozzarella, surf and turf. So you get steak and some seafood, mixed grilled meats. Burrata Thai style, chilled sesame fresh egg, beetroot cured fish, Australian grass-fed ribeye. A lot of restaurants here will serve steak that comes from Australia, but it's generally quite expensive. Tuna. Okay, then on to the pizza menu. So quite a variety of different pizzas. Prices, $2.70 to about, I think $2.70 is the cheapest and $4.90 is the most expensive. And chicken wings, French fries, mushroom soup, spaghetti, got some pasta dishes as well, and burgers. Oh, pita bread, grilled chicken. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice menu. Not too expensive. It's not the cheapest you'll find in Thailand, but not outrageously expensive. And drinks, coffees, butter beer, coconut milk. Okay, I'm gonna choose my pizza now and then turn the camera back on when the pizza arrives. The food has started to arrive and my wife and daughter ordered a salad to share. Salad looks really nice, really fresh, and there's some kind of cheese, maybe it's mozzarella, and it looks to be deep fried. It looks very good. My lad ordered an ink squid pasta with squid. So my wife and daughter have ordered a pizza to share, and it's half and half. So this side is mushroom, and this side I think is margarita. It looks really good. It's like a nice base as well. In Hat Yai, there's a lot of places that claim to serve pizza, but these places just don't serve pizza. It's not pizza. The only place that I consider to serve proper pizza in Hat Yai is Moon Pizza. Not the pizza company or Pizza Hut or any of the Thai places. This is my pizza. It's pepperoni with capers. I really like anchovies and capers on pizza. And something I really love is artichoke, but I've never seen it as an option in this part of Thailand. I've only ever seen it as an option in Bangkok. And the first pizza went down very well with my family. The base was really good, and they said it was quite close to Moon Pizza, the Neapolitan style pizza in Hat Yai. And they're quite big as well. I've got this all to myself. This is going to take quite a lot of eating. Really, one pizza is big enough for 2 people, so you get a lot of food. We are all really full, and this is the bill. And for 4 people, plenty of food, drinks, 1,340 baht. So yeah, very reasonable. That was very good, and I'm pleased to be able to recommend another pizza restaurant in this area. So if you're in Hat Yai, I still recommend Moon Pizza. And if you're in Songkhla, Secret Garden. And as I said the other day, when I went to a cheap breakfast restaurant in Hat Yai, I'm not looking for the cheapest possible price when I go out to eat. I'm looking for good food, a comfortable environment, preferably with a bit of character, and a good experience. And that was a good experience. This building just next door to Secret Garden used to be a girls' school. You can tell that from the sign, the first part of which says Rongrian Satri. Rongrian is school, and Satri is one of many Thai words for female. The rest of it is quite difficult to pronounce. I'm not even going to try. But it's no longer a school, it's now a kind of art centre. There's a little bakery over there that sells bread and croissants. Girl here selling like accessories. I'm not sure if she's made them herself, and watches with fancy straps. And inside there are various arts and crafts. Okay, I'm making more accessories here. A few clothes for sale. Looks like the sort of things you'll find on Etsy, sort of homemade stuff. And plaster of Paris mouldings that the kids can paint. Yeah, quite a nice little place. As you might expect inside an old school, there are still classrooms, and this room has just been left entirely as it was. So we see the old style desks, a few charts on the wall, map of Thailand, the human body, more human bodies and some biology. Of course, no air conditioning, it's just open windows and fans on the ceiling. So yeah, and my wife just mentioned that when she went to school, it was just like this. On the next level, there is quite a large room full of artwork. I'm not sure if this artwork is available to buy. I can't see any prices. And the guy in the bakery said that you can go right to the top of the building and you get a good view of Songkhla, and you can see as far as Talay Noi in Patalong. So I'll just pop up there and see what sort of view there is. There's actually a rooftop bar called Rooftop 36, open from 6:30 in the evening until late. Unfortunately, because it's not yet 6:30, all the doors are closed, so I can't go outside and see the view of Songkhla Lake. Or maybe next time. It's now time to say goodbye to Songkhla Old Town. The football stadium is adjacent to Samila Beach, so I think we're going to drive over to the beach area, find a place to park the car, have a little walk around the beach, and then go to the football stadium. The game starts at 7:30. I've got tickets, but there's no seat allocation. So it's best to get to the stadium a little bit early to get some decent seats. We're now at Samila Beach in Songkhla. The football stadium is just over there. You should be able to see the floodlights. And this year there have been many reports about low tourism numbers in Thailand. The traditional resorts just aren't seeing the number of tourists that they used to. And a lot of businesses are having problems. Not a problem in Hat Yai and Songkhla. Hat Yai, as usual, is full of Malaysian tourists. We've just been to Songkhla Old Town, which is very busy. And this area near Samila Beach is also very busy. We've just come through a huge traffic jam. There are a lot of people come to Songkhla Beach on a Sunday evening just to relax and have a picnic. And there's quite a big football game going on tonight, so that will account for a lot more people. I'll explain a bit more about the football later on. This is the Gulf of Thailand, and this is Samila Beach. And I have to admit that this Gulf coast isn't as attractive as the Andaman coast on the west side of the peninsula, but it's still quite nice. The sea isn't as clear or as blue, and occasionally there are some quite dangerous riptides. They put flags out, so it's not advisable to swim. And I also understand that there are quite a lot of jellyfish. I'm not sure if that's all year round or just certain times of year, but that could be another problem. And I have a friend who lives in Songkhla, and she told me recently they've started putting vinegar along the beach just in case you are stung by a jellyfish. Right, we've just started making our way into the stadium. It's not quite the same as when I was a season ticket holder at West Ham in the 90s, but it's still good fun, especially at a game like this where there'll be a lot of people. This is today's opposition, BG Patom United. The BG stands for Bangkok Glass. And I was going to explain this game once we went into the stadium, but I think I'll do it now. So, last season, Songkhla FC were playing in Thai Division 3, and they won promotion to Thai Division 2, which was great for the club. And they've got some pre-season friendly games, of which this is one. And BG Pathum are actually a first division team. So they're one of the biggest teams in Thailand, which is why there's a big crowd today. And there's one guy playing for BG called Chanatip, and I think he's the Thailand, the national team captain. He's a very good player, very well known, and a lot of people will be here just to see him. I think they call him the Thailand Messi. He's a very good player. I just hope he's playing today and they haven't rested him. As is usual with any kind of event in Thailand, there's lots of food and drink being sold outside. We were here last year for the King's Cup, where the national team were playing. That was another game that had a big attendance. And they had some rule that you couldn't take plastic bottles inside. So we bought drinks and fruit to take inside, and they're all confiscated. But you can take plastic glasses. And in this heat and humidity, it's been very, very hot recently. You get so thirsty, your body loses so much sweat because of the heat. You just need to drink all the time. And when they confiscated their drinks last time, it was very uncomfortable not being able to have a drink inside. So I'll have to try to get some drinks in plastic glasses. The two teams are now warming up, and I'm probably not going to do much more video now. I've brought a still camera with me, and I'm going to try and do some still photography. And my lad plays for Songkhla FC Academy, and he trains at the same place as the first team. And I've got to know some of the individuals out here. I know one of the fitness coaches who's helping the team to warm up. I know him quite well to chat to. And I also got to know two of the foreign players last year. One was a Brazilian called Emerson, and the other one was an Argentinian called Lisaso. But unfortunately, their contracts weren't renewed, so they've now left. I'm not sure where they're going to. That's a bit of a shame, but these things happen. Quick half-time report, and it's 1-0 to BG. They scored after 4 minutes. They've been the better side in the first half, had most of the possession, but there haven't actually been that many scoring opportunities. Watching Chanatip has been quite interesting. He's really small, and the team have got some big foreign players, and compared to them, he looks diminutive. But you can see he's a special player. There was one instance where he beat a Songkhla defender, and then he saw the goalkeeper was off his line and tried to chip the goalkeeper from a distance. It didn't go in, but it was near. So yeah, he's obviously got a good footballing brain. So we're just waiting there for the second half, and hopefully Songkhla can come back. A few fireworks to finish, and the guys behind me remarked that it was the Cambodians attacking Thailand. Well, not a great day for Songkhla. They lost 2-0. Both goals were headers from corners. So it's something the Japanese manager Daiki needs to take a look at. Obviously Daiki wants to have a good look at his entire squad. So he made a lot of substitutions in the second half. Songkhla looked better, but didn't really look like scoring.